Hello there, Scrap and Ames fans. How are we all today? I am back with my design team share for the Scrapping Good Times Facebook group. This is their August sketch challenge. They have two challenges this month, the sketch challenge you see here and the mood board, which you would have seen earlier in the month. Yeah, so I am doing another 12 by 12 layout, and the sketch did originally stump me a little bit. It took me a little bit of back and forth to work out what I was going to, or how I was going to do this. So I have 4 photos here as per the sketch, 2 bigger ones and the 2 smaller ones. And I'm just fussing around with how I was going to do the background work. So I've got some blue tissue paper there. I was going with blue because of, obviously, if you have a look you can see we're at the beach and things like that. A trip we took late last year down to Wollongong just for the day. And I didn't like how the tissue paper looked on a whole. It's obviously probably better just as a background, small piece kind of background. It was a bit too wrinkly and just, yeah, it wasn't quite the look I was going for or had in my head planned. I sort of wanted that to represent the ocean kind of thing. So I pull this bit of pattern paper, this green pattern paper. I think it's from Kaiser Craft, one of their little paper packs I got a little while back. Oh, there you go. Spring Bloom collection it's from. So I think it's an older sort of little collection. So what you can see me doing here is just having a look at the size of the page, and in the sketch there is like what looks like a bit of a background kind of thing to the left of the photos. So this is what's going to be that sort of photo mat background piece. Now this layout did take me a bit because I ended up working on it slowly in stages according to the sketch, the key elements of the sketch, and then just chucked my own bits and pieces on as I do. But as I said, it did have me stumped for a bit. It was a good challenge. Good one to get you thinking and get those scrapping creativity bits going. So this is the first, as I said, the first part I'm working on, just putting my photos on and working on that sort of left-hand side of the sketch, which has the title and everything on it as well. So I'm not sure if you have seen Scrapping Good Time Facebook group, but definitely jump over and request to join if you're you like a bit of a challenge. We engage a bit of general daily chit chat about different scrapping topics. You can post what you've done, you can ask questions, engage in these challenges as well, which is really cool. And it is an Australian group, but I'm sure there's people from overseas. I think I read some posts yesterday about the meteor shower overseas. So yeah, I will try and remember to post a link for the Facebook group actually in the description box below, so you can find it a bit easier actually. So just working on placement, and I just had to make sure that as you would have seen in the sketch at the beginning, in between the 2 photos is like some journaling, and the title goes in and things like that. So as you can see there, I was trying to work out what I was going to do in this middle piece. So I've got my little tag there that's going to be where I put a bit of journaling. And I'm just going to go through. Now I do cut out some of this. It does take me a bit. I go through my thickers to figure out how I'm going to do the title. And I actually end up using 3 different sets of stickers, alpha stickers, to make it work. Just because I had missing some letters. I was due for more stickers. Alright, and here I am just going to, oh that's right, I jump ahead and, well not jump ahead, but jump back to my photos and stick them on, just so I know where everything permanently is, so I can work around those key elements. Obviously your photos are your focus point, so I just wanted to make sure that they were in place, and then I could work on the little bits and pieces. As I said, this one did really make me think. So I bump up the 2 bigger photos on some craft foam, just to give it a bit of dimension, a bit of focus. I really liked those 2 beach photos. I thought they were really pretty. They really were a draw point to this layout, I thought. So I thought, well, why not make them stick out a bit more? Alright, so everything's stuck down and I'm just still looking for something to basically put behind my title. I decided it needed something. Just looking through this, the Kaiser Craft Wildflower collection that was brought out a little while back by them. So I have a look. It's got, like, it's a 6x6 paper pad, so it's got your papers, but at the back it has some die cut pieces as well. I actually use, well, you'll see it in a minute, but it looks like a bit of a border kind of thing, but I cut it in half and use it to, as something different, just to put my title on. Just fighting with it to get it out of the little perforated edge. Alright, so yeah, I fiddle around with how I want to lay it down. Like either apart like that, or joined together, or to the side, blah blah blah. In the end, I stick them together so they're even. So I did keep some of this in for some of the novices, because the group itself has a few newbies scrapbooking at times as well. Just to show that, you know, first and foremost, you don't have to use things as they're designed. So this was obviously designed as some kind of die cut bordery kind of piece. I've cut it in half to use it as a bit of a mat for my title. And just to show it's not as easy as sometimes looks by when you watch other YouTube videos and that they just sort of seem to, it all flows. All in all, this video I think took me about, I think it was like 45 minutes, I think, originally. So obviously a bit of editing by the time it gets to you. And I don't think that includes, I do some mixed media shortly, and I don't think that includes the drawing on that. Alright, so just using these older blue thickers to spell out the word in, and then I use some little Kaiser Craft black alphas to spell the, and then those pink thickers you saw that says Gong. So in the Gong is my title. Now what I was just pointing to there is on the sketch, it has like a piece going down that left hand side of the photos. So I'm just trying to have a look as to what would go well, whether or not, you know, a strip of paper, or there was another die cut I could use from some of these paper pads. So when I started my layout, obviously I knew I was going to use these photos. So I went through my paper pad stash, because I haven't used them for a while, so I just kind of felt the need to have a flick through. They sort of sit there on my shelf, looking pretty. So I've pulled those out to use a bit in this layout. So I went for things that had that, you know, that beach nature kind of theme. So I actually use this bit of washi that has a bit of light blues and oranges on it. So it goes in really well. It doesn't sort of stand out as such, but it sort of defines those edges there as per the sketch. Had to be a bit clever. That's my stack of washi there. So when I first started scrapbooking, I don't know what anyone else's might be, but when I first started getting back into scrapbooking a little while back, washi was like, I kept seeing everyone use these washi tapes, and so then I went on a hunt and I just brought up big. I loved washi at one stage for everything. I think I was wrapping presents with washi at one stage for Christmas. That's the obsession is real. Yeah, but now they sort of sit on my shelf, so I try to use them when I can, so they're not collecting dust or losing their adhesive. Alright, so here's the mixed media component. So down the side of the sketch, it had some circular patterns. Now originally I was going to use doilies, but I just didn't think it went with the layout, like the theme of the layout, sort of thing, that beachy, summery kind of theme. So instead I have used a stencil that you just saw. This little starbursty kind of stencil, with some Delusions paint. It's a blue one. Calypso Teal it's called. I should think of it off the top of my head. So as you can see, and I've just used my little dauber there to get the paint through, which I think worked pretty well. Gives it a nice bit of texture as well. This one is the Colour Blast, you would have just seen Colour Blast paste, texture paste in bling. So again, I'm using the stencil. I'm just using some different colours that sort of came in the pictures. I'm using the blues and the gold to... Oh, there you go. That's my Calypso teal I was showing you. Excuse me, sorry. Cannot get rid of this cough. It's driving me nuts. And I am going to do one more starburst, but burst down the bottom. I kind of just thought it looked a bit sunshiny, you know, nice days, all that sort of summer or beach stuff, even though it wasn't actually summertime we went down there. But anyway, it was spring. Who cares? So just using a baby wipe there just to wipe over my stencil. I do clean my daubers under some warm water and let them dry, and generally I will do that with my stencils as well, because sometimes they don't wipe off as easily. The Colour Blast paste is fantastic. It's really smooth, spreads really evenly and nicely through the stencils, as you can see there, and cleans up really easily. So now I'm just going to use my dauber again, and I am using a, is it the pink? No, purple. I think this is the fuchsia something, purpley kind of colour in the Dilutions paint. So there you go, up nice and close. Now yes, it does have the outlines of the stencil, which is a pain, but I am going to cover those a little bit or draw your attention away from them with some embellishing shortly. So I'm just going through this paper pad, which I think was the, I think I just showed it. It's the Dear Lizzie Happy Place one. It's an older one. So I'm just going through, trying to find some things that, it was the paper pad that stood out the most as being sort of more of the summery kind of theme. So I am just going to go through. I pick a couple of different sheets of the paper here. And what I'm going to do is create my own little embellishments using my Diamond Press die cut tool, which you'll see here. Again, I've left some of this process in so that other people that might be a bit new to this can see how these things work. You know, if they're what they want to do or anything like that. Now that wood veneer starburst or star piece is from Corbett Creations. I think, which kit? So that must be the July Kitaholic kit. I got that in. I get the main kit from them too. If you haven't watched my videos before, it's an Aussie-based company. Very well worth the money. The kit's very well worth the money is all I can say. Alright, so using some gold washi just to define that edge again before I stick the stars down, which you'll see. I'm going to do a mixture of some little stars with some hearts as well. Working upside down. And that's just some liquid glue, wet glue. It's my Tombow glue. It's the one with the big thick end as well as the fine point end, which I really like to do those little, finicky pieces like those on wood veneers. Now, some of these ephemera pieces you can see here are also from the main kit in July from Kitaholic Kits. I think. Oh, hang on. When did I film this video? Yes, it must be. So it was the Daydreamer collection from Kaiser Craft. There was a lot in the main kit this month, or July, sorry. This month's now August. So just trimming down my paper, my pattern paper there to fit in the little folder that you can see there, which needs to be replaced desperately. And I'm just going to use that scalloped edge circle, a large one, just to add into the middle of those sort of bursts, colour bursts that I've got along the side there of the page. Again, if you have a look at the sketch, there's sort of what looks like a two-type, almost like a doily on top of a doily kind of thing. And that's what I was going for here. As I said, I didn't think the doilies suited. I did try the doilies at first off camera, but I just, and I thought this mixed media just went really well. In the end, I actually was really happy with how this turned out, even though it took me a while to figure out what I was doing. So I am just going to take that piece that says Born to be Me, and I am going to pop it up a little bit on some fun foam, craft foam there. And as always, using wet glue because I've got mixed media down, so making sure it stays stuck over time. Fighting with the wet glue, it looks like. Alright, so I'm going to put that as the centerpiece as per what it was when I got it out of the pack. And then I'm going to use its, as you can see there, use its frame exactly as it's intended to frame that word piece. which says Born to be Me. Now this is for my stepdaughter's album. Alright, just sticking it down. Like so, just fight it. I don't know why, but sometimes of late I've been fighting with my glue. Him and I are just not friends very much. At times it drives me a little bit bonkers. But I need it, so I have to be nice. Alright, so I just make sure when I did these circle pieces they didn't clash with the colour of the paint and texture paste. So the one at the top is like got beach balls and balloons and all that sort of stuff in it. The second one actually has some words written on it in that pink, and this last one is just some groovy little coloured sunglasses, which you'll see in the close-ups anyway. And I decided to that each of the centre pieces needed a little bit of something with it. So you'll see I add to the circles like those little look, a little phrase piece with the balloons there in the middle. It says good vibes only. And then around this bottom one, you'll see I've got some things there that say, some words that say awesome and fantastic, just to balance it out. Almost a bit like the rule of threes kind of thing. Alright. Right, so just again sticking everything down, just rolling with it. Alright. Yep. So those two pieces, the word pieces down the bottom, are popped up on some fun foam as well, just to stand up off the page a bit more. Again, just adding some dimension to it. Okay, making sure everything's stuck. And I'm just about done. And then I think I decided I need some more things around the side. I think I leave this side of the page, this right hand side, and move to some bits, little tiny pieces on the left next to my photos. So you see how there I'm fussing around a little bit. You should have seen my desk after doing this layout, and I think I did another one on the same day. Then I had a bit of a, what do you call it, craft math happening. It was paper everywhere, tape everywhere. Yeah, it was great. Shows productivity. Alright, so just cutting out these little square pieces from the 6x6, sorry, mind blank, pattern paper pad, as well in that Dear Lizzie Happy Place book. And the top one says Sunshine Happiness, and the bottom is just, I really like the funky glasses in this paper pad, so I added another one down the bottom. Like, oh no, that's not it. Yeah, I was going to go with this one. I use it as a backing to the phrase one. It says Sunshine and Happiness. And yeah, just about done. As I said, I will pop a link in the description box for the Scrapping Good Times Facebook group. Pop on by. It's great just to have chit chats with everyone, get some ideas, you know, just general stuff sometimes too, which is great. And especially if you're a bit new to scrapping, this is really a really good page or group to be part of. Yeah, and you can have a crack at the challenges and see what you come up with. Test your creativity. Now there's some close-ups for you. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for some more fun scrappingness. Alright, I will see you later. Goodbye.